Hello, and welcome to another episode of drawing things from my childhood because that was the last time I was truly happy and carefree. Welcome back. Today's subject is Hanon from Mermaid Melody, Pitchy Pitchy Pitch. Hanon is the aquamarine pearl princess, ruler of the Atlantic Ocean. And she's also one of the three main characters in this very, very colorful anime. Please be warned that spoilers and maybe a couple of strong, kind of mean opinions are ahead. You have been warned. Now, if you scroll down a bit in my channel, you will notice that this is in fact my 5th Mermaid Melody related speed paint. I have no good reason as to why that is. This is just, it was my first anime, so I guess I'm always gonna see it with like nostalgia colored glasses. Even though it wasn't that great. It's just like 52 episodes of will Lucia and Kaito get together, followed by 39 more episodes of Kaito, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Get it together, man. Now, I will say the soundtrack is very, very good. Like, for absolutely no reason. The soundtrack just, it slaps in every language. Especially Italian. You know, the Italians, they really went a step above and they made their own songs for the anime, and for that I am very grateful. You know, as an amateur anime fan in 2007, I had to watch this darn anime in like 3 parts in Italian with Spanish subtitles. You know, times were hard on old YouTube, but I kind of am thankful I watched it in Italian because the music was just great. I would really love that CD, but fortunately most of the songs are on Spotify, so that's great. If any of you have watched my other Mermaid Melody videos, you'll know that Sarah is actually my favorite girl, you know. I think she's just super cute and her songs are like my favorites. Also, that girl really went through it. Okay, she went through the ringer and yet she stayed kind to everyone and just, she was a pleasure to have in class. It was great. Unlike my second favorite character in the series, Sarah's predecessor, Sarah. Listen, I love me a bad girl too, okay? And she was the worst. This woman, she falls in love with a human, was planning to run away with him and just completely leave a whole ass kingdom without a ruler. Then she got tricked into thinking that he was leaving her and betraying her, so she ends up destroying her whole ass country and then joining the villain in kidnapping other mermaid princesses so that he could rule all 7 seas and subsequently the earth. I love feral women. She was definitely the most powerful of all the princesses, mostly because she was the eldest and had like the most experience, but also her song was the most powerful, especially when she sang with hatred, which she definitely did. At the end, she did sacrifice herself to save everyone, and then Sarah was born as her, like, I guess reincarnation, kind of? They never really explain it. And now it's Sarah's turn to fix Sarah's mess, which was huge. But then Seira's soul gets absorbed by a new villain, and that's the second season, basically. I love how I'm talking about two characters that are definitely not the subject of this video. So Hanon. Hanon is a very cute character too. You know, she's very spunky, she has a lot of energy, and her songs are like really catchy as well. Her voice isn't my favorite at all, but it's definitely not the worst voice. No. That title belongs to my girl Karen, who has the worst voice in every single language. Yeah, I don't know what direction they were going with for Karen. It's still a mystery to me. Like, I've heard people saying that her voice is supposed to complement her twin sister's more deeper and calmer voice, but I don't know. I just don't know. They could have gotten a better singer. I'm not trying to shade the voice actress or anything, because like her regular talking voice is fine. It's just her singing voice that's the problem, quite honestly. But anyways, back to Hanon. So Hanon is a hopeless romantic. She's seen as boy crazy all throughout the series, and she's so boy crazy that she falls in love with like the first guy who shows her kindness, who also happens to be her music teacher. Now, warning, I do not condone this at all. When I first watched it, I didn't care, you know. I thought, oh yes, high school student falling in love with a grown man. Sure, fine, carry on. But now that I'm older and wiser, that's weird. You know, the music teacher probably also thought it was weird because he never really reciprocated her feelings. Thank God. Also, it turns out the music teacher was the guy that Sarah was going out with all those years ago. Pretty small world. Even with Sarah out of the picture, RIP, he still didn't reciprocate Hanon's feelings. So instead, he just moved to Germany. And then Hanon was left with a broken heart. Later on, she does fall for this other boy that I didn't love. You know, I thought he was a bit too much. You know, he was seen as like this younger boy, but upon rewatching the anime, I realized he was just 1 year younger than her, but they treated him like he was in preschool. You know, I thought that was funny. But yeah, his personality was a bit too much. He tried super hard. He was very honest though, I'll give him that. He was nothing like our king Hamasaki Masahiro, who is the one that fell in love with Rina, who's like my third favorite character. Okay, that man, King Hamasaki, alright, he sees Rina for the first time and he's like, okay, I am in love now, and now I am completely dedicated to this one woman. And this is a man that gets frequently drunk on respect women juice, okay? This is a man who, he knows what he wants. He's not like in love with another woman. You know, he's not torn between like two people or whatever, like freaking Kaito or the music teacher dude. No, No, Hamasaki knows what he wants and he goes after it. And he knows that she wants him too. First of all, okay? It's great. He was a king, honestly. I've been rewatching some episodes of the second season where he's in, and it's just, he's like my favorite guy character because he's not wishy-washy. He doesn't play games. Also, he boxes and he like rides a motorcycle, so he's super cool. But yeah, anyways, moving on. And now comes the segment where I'd like to talk about something that has affected me personally as a person on this earth that lives as a person. The Mermaid Melody sequel, Mermaid Melody Aqua. This series, it started back in August, and I've been hyped about it since like June or July, which is around the time that I coincidentally uploaded my last Mermaid Melody video. I was so excited for all the possibilities. You know, the story was supposed to take place like 17 or like 20 or so years after the original series ending. I was excited to see my favorite characters back at it again, using their songs to fight against water demons. I was so excited to see them as adults, navigating daily life and juggling their royal responsibilities with their human obligations. I read the synopsis, and it's supposed to be that we're following the story of Lucia, the Pink Pearl Princess's daughter. And as a fan of The Little Mermaid 2, I was really looking forward to seeing the relationship of a grown-up Lucia and her daughter. And then August rolls around, and we see the first chapter. What the fuck? So, Lucia's daughter is literally just a carbon copy of her mother. Lucia is now a housewife? For some reason? Like at the end of Mermaid Melody, the manga, we see that Lucia was chosen to one day replace Aqua Regina as the new ocean goddess. Like, what happened to that storyline? Also, all the characters look the same as they did back in the old series. Like, this is supposed to be 20 years in the future. Like, Lucia's daughter is named Rukia, which is like, did someone buy this woman like a baby naming book or something? Like, there's websites for that, you know. You live in an age of the internet. Like, her daughter was raised solely on land, so she knows nothing about her mermaid heritage. Which, I mean, that type of storyline worked in The Little Mermaid too, because in that world, it's established that when mermaids touch water, they don't turn back into mermaid form, you know. But in Mermaid Melody, we know that when the mermaids touch water while in their human form, they turn back into mermaids. So how did they avoid their daughter from touching water and figuring out that she's a mermaid? How? Also, all of a sudden, Lucia drops the bomb that Lucia has been, like, betrothed to some merman or something. First of all, it was already established that all mermaids are female, and probably lesbians, and mermaids are born from, like, a pearl or something. Second of all, what the fuck? Lucia has no fucking right promising her daughter to a whole other person when her own love with Kaito was forbidden. This series, it's irresponsible. Also, can we talk about the artwork? Listen, I'm not usually that person that judges other artists for choices that they make. But what the hell is going on here? The pacing is very awkward in the whole manga. Half the time I can't tell what's going on. And back in the day, the art wasn't amazing either. The anatomy in particular just wasn't very accurate. But it's been over 15 years. You'd think the art would be a bit better. One positive thing I will say though is I do like how the faces and the hair looks. The eyes don't take over 3/4 of the face anymore. And I do like it a lot. I think it's more appealing. Keep in mind, I'm not the authority in art, so please take what I say with a grain of salt and maybe form your own opinions. At the end of the day, it all seems kind of like a nostalgia-filled cash grab, which is what saddens me the most. I know the original series was animated to sell toys mostly, but at least we got a cute story out of it and some good songs. In this sequel, there hasn't even been one battle where Lucia transforms and uses her voice to fight back. And we're already on chapter 4. I know it's a mess, but I'm gonna keep reading. Just to please 12-year-old me. I wouldn't be completely against a reboot either, like a reboot of the anime. Tokyo Mew Mew is getting a reboot 20 years after the fact. It can definitely happen with Mermaid Melody. And I've actually seen some fans come out of the woodwork, so I'm kind of hopeful. I'd love to finally get my hands on some Mermaid Melody merch that doesn't cost hundreds of dollars. But I've ranted long enough, so here's the final product. I really like how she came out. I feel that she's like 3 art styles all mashed up into one, but I'm not completely mad about it. I decided to make her hair super long and look kind of like ribbons or something. Her hair is really one of my favorites. I really love how they draw it in the anime. Also, I bought some star clips in real life because she wears 2 stars on her bangs and I love that for her and I want to be that. I want that for me. Thank you for listening to my rants, and I hope you enjoyed my latest installment of reminiscing about my favorite childhood media. Stay safe and get the damn vaccine. Goodbye.